Hey, what's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and in this video, I am going to help you finally stop tripping on your double unders. If you're someone who's been doing double unders for a really long time, you think you have all the pieces together, but for some reason, you just keep tripping, this video might be the key to finally help you hit big sets of unbroken double unders. But before we get into the deep details of how you can fix that, I do want to draw your attention to a few things. We have several links below this video and also in the top comment for a couple different resources I want to let you know about. Number one, we have a free double under program that will help you learn the basics of double unders for free. And you can download that by just entering your name and email. The link to do that is down below. Again, it's either pinned in the top comment or it is in the description. Number two, we also, if you're really serious about learning double unders and you're fed up with tripping and you want to finally hit big sets, 50, 100 plus unbroken, then I'm inviting you to join our Double Unders Unleashed course. If the course is currently open for enrollment, a lot of times we do fill up. We have full capacity sometimes, but you can find out if the course is open for enrollment by clicking the link below that says Double Unders Unleashed. That is our 8-week step-by-step training program that we guarantee will help you hit unbroken double unders. We actually guarantee that it will help you set a new PR. And then last but not least, we have another link where you can actually get the jump rope that I recommend when it comes to developing double unders. A lot of people start and use the wrong rope and they just consistently switch out all these super fast speed ropes when really you need to get a specific jump rope system that will help you learn double unders. So if you've been frustrated for a while, it's the rope that I'm actually using in a lot of the demonstrations in this video, and it is also the rope that I recommend people use to learn double unders. It's a 2-rope system. You can learn all about it in the links below. So let's start with the problem. What is the problem? Why do you keep tripping? Well, you've focused on the wrist flick, and that seems fine. You focused on maybe trying to perfect your jumping, and that seems totally fine. So you're jumping, you're spinning properly, you've maybe changed ropes 15 times. You know, maybe you purchased our jump rope set, maybe you have purchased all kinds of other jump rope sets. But whatever you do, even asking your friends, hey, can you watch my double unders? Why do I keep tripping? No matter what you do, you still trip. This video is going to help you identify a very common flaw that people make that goes completely unnoticed for years. So if you're someone who's nodding and saying, yes, I've tried to fix everything and I still trip, well, the answer for you might be that you are lopsided. So when I say lopsided, that simply means that when I'm spinning my rope, when I'm holding my hands, whether I know it or not, one hand is higher than the other. So we have one hand that might drift down while you're doing double unders, or you might have one arm, one hand that drifts up. That might not seem like a big problem, but even the tiniest of imbalance, even the tiniest bit of lopsidedness will lead to the rope hitting your feet. As you can see in this demonstration, when my hands are perfectly level and even, the rope has plenty of space to pass around my feet as I'm doing my double under. But when I start to move in one direction, so one hand lifts and the other stays the same, or maybe one hand goes down, or maybe you have a lift and one goes down. It doesn't really matter. Anything that makes them imbalanced or out of alignment will cause that rope to push to one side or the other. As you can see, as soon as I go lopsided, I'm actually reducing the margin of error on one side of my foot. So if I lift one arm and my other arm stays the same, the lower arm will tend to have a foot that's much closer to the rope. So you can see here in this video, I'm lifting my left arm and my right arm stays the same. The rope is actually getting really, really close to tripping on my right foot. And what happens is that as soon as you reduce the margin of error, as soon as that rope gets off balance just a little bit, you will fail. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. You're either going to misjump, you might mess up your timing just a little bit, but the bottom line is if you take your margin for error and you make it really small, it means you are going to trip. So how do we notice that something like this is happening? It's like, okay, great, Ben, I have a lopsided spin. What the heck do I do about it? I've been working on my double unders for years. Well, if you have a lopsided spin, you might notice that you have it if you consistently hit the same foot every single time you trip. This is probably the easiest way to identify that you are having this lopsided spin problem. If you're constantly hitting your right pinky toe every time you trip, then you know that you might have some sort of imbalance. You might be spinning with a lopsided spin. But oftentimes that is not enough. You won't necessarily notice when you're tripping or why you're tripping, and usually coaches can't tell with the naked eye. You're not going to be able to tell, even maybe looking in a mirror, you don't know what's going on. The key to figuring out if you're making this problem or having this issue is to film yourself in slow motion. Luckily, with today's modern advanced technology, we can take a cell phone, whether you have an iPhone or an Android or some other phone I don't even know about, and you can film yourself in slow motion. So in almost every phone or most modern cameras, you can take your frame rate and bump it up a lot, or just literally click the slow-mo button. And what that will do is it will allow you to watch the rope actually spinning around your body and spinning around your feet. If you only just watch your spin and the rope is invisible because it's spinning so fast, then you can't really tell anything. But when you slow things down and you can actually see that rope spinning around your feet, you're going to notice that the rope is being pushed from one side to the other. So if you notice that consistently the rope is barely passing over your right foot or barely passing over your left foot, and there seems to be plenty of room on the other side, then you are probably having some sort of lopsided spin. Now, you can't just look at your hands, because just simply angling one hand down and having the other up can cause huge problems. So just because your hands are even, if one wrist is down and one wrist is up, you will still have a lopsided rope. That's why it's so important to watch yourself on slow motion and really check to see where that rope and how that rope is passing around your feet. After you've identified that this is in fact your problem, what can we do to fix it? Just mentally telling yourself that you have the problem is a great start. So I've done this with several of my athletes. I remember when I used to coach in person at the CrossFit gym I used to own, I had someone who was doing a lopsided jump and had no idea. They thought they were perfectly even, but when I filmed them and showed them, one of his hands was way up here, the other hand was way down by his hips. So all I told him to do, his name was Cody, shout out to Cody, hi Cody. So I told Cody, I was like, Cody, take your left hand and jam it into the floor when you do double unders. I know it's gonna feel weird, but something in your physiology is making you lift up this arm and get really tense in the shoulder, so your left hand is really high up in the air. All I want you to do your double unders just like you normally do, just shove that hand down into the ground. And immediately, literally the next set of double unders, he hit an unbroken set of over 100 and was talking to me during the set. He was just like, I cannot believe that one tip just fixed my double unders. So I'm not saying your mistake is going to be as drastic as that, aha moment was, but if you filmed yourself in slow motion, you've identified that you do have a lopsided spin. Now what we can do is, first, you can think about trying to fix it. If you know that your left arm is always up in the air and it's lifting, tell yourself to push your left arm down while you're doing your next set of double unders. It's going to take some retraining and some rewiring of your brain, but if you consistently tell yourself like, oh, nope, I'm lifting my left hand, put it down, put it down, put it down, then you will fix that lopsided spin without much intervention. It's just something you need to think about. However, that doesn't always work for everyone. That's a very special time when you can fix it with just one cue and just tell the athlete to think about it. So how can we actually tactile, how can we force ourselves to jump without a lopsided spin? What I'm about to tell you is something that I've actually seen a couple of our athletes use in the middle of competitions. So maybe you have this issue, every time you get tired, you keep tripping, and you're like, hey, I know this is my issue, but oftentimes just thinking about it mentally doesn't fix it for me. Well, all you need to do is whip out a handy dandy band of some sort, and you are going to do banded double unders, but unlike putting both your hands in the band, you're actually just going to band one arm to your body. So maybe you have In this video, we have my right hand tends to stay in a good position. My left hand tends to drift up and cause that lopsided spin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a band, put it around my left arm to pull it into my body, and now I physically can't lift that hand even if I tried. And miraculously, that rope that goes from that lopsided spin, it will now come to center and you will be able to execute double unders much more smoothly and much more cleanly. And we have actually had people in our double unders unleashed course who have made massive transformations and have gone from, just a few unbroken to all of a sudden stringing hundreds unbroken. And I've seen them actually use a band like this during workouts, during competitions even sometimes, where that just having that tactile cue, that touching of the band on your arm, helps your body remember, oh yeah, I need to keep that hand down by my side. And then voila, your hands are level. So ultimately, the first thing that you need to do if you're someone who always trips on your rope is, one, we need to identify what the problem is. The best way to do it is to film yourself in slow motion. If you'd like the trained eye of a WODprep coach, whether it's me or my entire coaching staff, we would love to help you improve your double unders, and we'd love to invite you to join our Double Unders Unleashed course. If you join Double Unders Unleashed, again, the links are below this video in the top comment or in the description. If you join Double Unders Unleashed, not only do we guarantee that you are going to improve your double unders, we also guarantee that you're going to get coaching directly from the WODprep staff. So that means you can actually submit your videos into our online coaching group, and then either me or one of my other head coaches, they're better than I am, just letting you know. Either me or one of my head coaches will be giving you direct video feedback on your double unders. So you can literally film yourself from the front in slow motion, upload it to the group and say, hey guys, am I doing a lopsided spin? So join Double Unders Unleashed if you have any questions about it. Otherwise, we'd love to invite you to download our free double under training. It's not nearly as in-depth, but it is free. Just check the links below. And also, if you're someone who's interested in getting what I think is the ultimate double under training tool, this is a rope set where you can easily interchange your handles. So this is the speed rope. It's about 2.5 ounces, and I can interchange it with a heavier rope. See here, I just clip it on, and now I have a heavier rope. I could just do that with both handles. It takes like 10 seconds. If you want the ultimate double under training tool, and it happens to fit perfectly with the programming that we have as well, just check the links below. This was designed by Crossrope. It's phenomenal. We actually have literally tried to beat it up. We've tried to cut it. We've tried to run it over with cars, flush it down the toilet, and it just won't go away. This thing is indestructible. And as you can see, it spins incredibly well. Even most ropes, when you do that, it stops spinning immediately, but this one keeps spinning. So I hope that you like this video. The last thing I want to say, question of the day. When you trip on your double unders, where does it sting? So where are you hitting yourself? Some people get hit in the butt. Some people get hit on the ear. I remember one athlete specifically said it was always her left knee that would have whip marks. For me, it was always my left forearm. This forearm has been whipped so many times with me trying to do double unders that I'm surprised I don't have any scarring. So where do you normally get whipped by the jump rope? Leave that in the comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. We're trying to make great content for you. As you can see, we're in an awesome studio now. Thumbs down if you want me to go back to my old style of videos that have really crappy camera footage. And then last but not least, make sure you smash that subscribe button so that you don't miss any more free training content that we have on the way. And I will see you next week. I've talked to my associates, and we're willing to give you what you want. In fact, it's what everybody wants right now. And I'll give it to you, but you have to give me what I want. And that's 50. 50 in a row without stopping. Do we have a deal? All right, we have a deal.